Good evening. Tonight we are October 16th. It is 8 o'clock at night. We are looking at the JSOC Helio Viewer so that you can see more detail in the activity that's going on, the flaring activity that's going on. Right here we have 46. We have 48 down here with 50 above it. We have 54 over here, and 52 is down here. We have a new spot that is developed just today, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. And we have 56 that is just rotated around the sun. So let's take a look, at our sunspots. Here is our overall map. 46 is now at a point it's very unlikely unless, and here's the rule, unless it is a supersized storm that causes ripples back around the planet. It has been something that has happened in the past where it gets around the limb and lets off a major blow, or it gets directly facing away from us and lets go of a kill shot. Then it causes waves that come around the sun, and it's just such a large storm that it whips around to the backside and hits us. So it can still affect us. It just depends on the size of what it lets go. And also, if it's a horizontal, remember we have vertical storms and vertical loops that reach from pole to pole type thing, or we have one that follows the equator. If it is one that follows the equator, if it's at horizontal, then it can whip sideways and it can whip backwards towards us, and then it can still hit us. But it pretty much at this time, not likely to do much. 48 and 50 are now the ones to watch for the next 24 hours. We've got 54 up here, 52 down here. We have 55, and this one is a brand new baby spot, just happened today. I looked at the map, I want to say about 10 o'clock this morning, 11 o'clock this morning, it wasn't there. So this is new. 56 has come around. I believe this is an older spot or one that has been around the sun before. As you can see here, 46 has dropped 30 spots today. 48 has dropped 16. 52, 5, and the rest of them are 1s and 2. They're not doing much yet. But that can change. Here you can see 46. It has lost a couple of sunspots, and what's happening here is the smaller sunspot is getting eaten by a bigger sunspot as this grows. So this is up by 540%. It's grown that big. Looking at this, if it continues to grow like this, this is very dangerously close to being able to do real damage. If it drops a kill shot from anywhere on the backside of the sun, we can still get that effect. Thankfully, it would not hurt us. If this survives and goes all the way around the sun and is bigger than this come around next month, then we're in serious trouble, because this could drop something really big. It is got very magnetically charged loops. It's very, very active. If it continues and survives the cycle, this will be the one to watch in November. It is up to 85% chance of a C-class flare. That's minor. Maybe it'll leave the sun, maybe it won't. Now, these red areas are the loops that are pointed up. And I want you to pay attention to this, because these loops, this is the stuff that's pointed up towards us. If it's a negative, or that blue color, the green, it's down into the sun. You have a very wide horizontal shape to this. This is 48. It is going through a reorganization phase. Its smaller spots are getting eaten, and it's growing, and it's getting closer together, and it's getting more in the middle between these, and I think it'll continue to grow throughout the cycle around the sun. This too could be a major flare player on the backside of the sun, and it might even survive to come around next month and give us some really big shots. 50 really isn't doing much. It's hanging back here and saying, oh, here, 48, have my electromagnetic energy. You grow. I'm going to be here lazy. 42, 52, this is all aimed up away from Earth. But at this time, the magnetic complexity here is kind of weak. It's grown by 3 spots. It's added in about 50% of size. But we're not getting that really tight wrapping that causes the filaments to break, or the roping to break. So we need that to grow, and that's what it's doing right now. Region 54, it's been hanging in there. It is growing, and I can see how the part that's pointing up at us is kind of getting squished. And it's not quite as strong as it was. So I don't know if this is going to do much, or whether it spent itself out. 55. It has appeared it's not doing much at this moment. It does not mean it's not going to suddenly kick into action. This is new, but and I don't look, it's so spread out that I don't look for it to do much. However, 42, 46, which may be an older spot, and you can see behind it, it does have more sunspots coming behind it. This is pretty tightly wrapped. It's got a lot of intermixing. It very well could pop off to something, although they're not getting real ambitious about its probabilities. And these may just be because they're new and they haven't reviewed them well enough yet. Now, here's our big story here. They have reduced the median speed on our full halo hit by about 200 kilometers per second or more. But that's still moving pretty fast. If you look here, we have a 385 quarter halo hit that more than likely was from the same region. So it's very likely that that could scoop up that storm, as well as these that came before it, because it more than likely came from 46. So it's more than likely in a lot of the same areas. Let's take a look. So this came off 46 and 48. It's got a full halo hit, they're calling it. The one before it, it's in the same region. So it's that really wide storm right here. So these two will combine. That's going to increase your density. It's going to maybe slow down the back storm, but speed up the front storm as it combines. Then right behind it, we've got another storm coming out of the exact same area. That one is moving about a quarter of the speed of the other one, of the last one. So you're going to get a double peak. The first two are going to hit probably pretty close to simultaneously, and then this other one will follow behind because it's not moving fast and it's quite a bit behind in time. So this one happened just after noon, about 2-3 o'clock, and this one is about 10 o'clock at night. So you've got a good space there that when one wanes, the other one's going to hit. Now, behind that followed another storm in the same direction. Now we have one coming off the incoming limb. That may be behind, or it may be from 54, and more than likely it's from 54. If it came from 54, then that can hit us. You can see here now that this is picked up to a full halo, even though the storm, they're measuring this storm going north. Likely again from 54. But you can see here how all the plasma and the density has picked up to be a 3/4 halo. So this too is going to hit us. And that one is moving. You got one moving at 900. This one's going to pick up this back one and probably this one. So these three probably will combine. Because you're looking at just a few hours, and just four or 5 hours in between them. And that's moving at nearly 400 kilometers faster than the ones before it. So those can combine. That will make this a bigger double peak. Another one going north. You can see now it's a couple hours later, and this is going to wane. It's still there, but it's not as strong. We've got another good solid hit out of 46. I don't know if that will hit us. I'm not going to bank on that one hitting us. That's pretty far around the limb. This one is coming off, but here you can see we're starting to get that all the way around the disc stuff again, which indicates we're going to still be getting something out of that. We've got another hit out of 46. This is dim, but it's still there, and you can start to see it's picking up right in here. And now you can see a small hit here, but it's pretty much waning down. You're going to be 1-2 kp there. I don't look for that one to be much. And we're waiting for the others to kick in. Now, besides that, let me go over here too, real quick. Besides that, we should have another corona hole coming in here somewhere soon. It's not showing up here, but there should be another corona hole coming around and impacting us in the next 24 hours or so. Maybe. But the more important picture is down here. 46 is now right here close to the limb, and here's the stuff that's coming behind. So there's 54. 56 is down in here, and it's what's following behind it is all this really big stuff that this is what they're basing their prediction on, that we're going to get a big storm around the 28th through the 31st. So in a week, not even a week, by next week, we should start seeing these sunspots turning around toward the limb. And that's important. Looking at our Space Weather Live dashboard, we still do not have the October 19th predictions. Tonight is supposed to be good if it comes on time. I do not think it's going to come on time. I think you're going to be into early mornings, and by then we may be clouded. When I looked out the door here a while ago, we had clouds moving in on the west. This may May or may not happen tonight. It could happen 24 hours later because a lot of these wind speeds were pretty low. Here is our corona hole that is Earth facing us now. 46 is over here. 48 is right here. We still have a good filament running down here. 46 is just coming around the limb. So we have now count out 3 days. So today's the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, the wind stream should hit us. At about the same time, we're going to see the impact of the full halo hit. If that happens, if the solar wind speed hits with the storm that's already there and they all combine together, then we're in for something bigger than that's the time you say they're right 50% of the time, but based on everything I'm seeing, I'm going to go bigger. If the sunspot halo hit comes on the 18th and gets to us faster than expected, then the coronal hole will give us a weak storm unless we're getting some big flares from what's behind it. Because by then, 48 and 46 aren't really going to be able to reach us. Our emerald spiral hasn't changed much. We're still supposed to peak out here close to midnight. Secondary spike around early evening, midday, into the early morning on the 19th, and then the wind is supposed to pick up. And this is coming from a 4 tap of storms that will hit us 1, 2, 3, 4. Magnometers are up a little bit. And that is what we have for that. Now let me jump over to weather, because this is just rapidly changing. If you are Traverse City, Charlevoix, you're probably not going to get much tonight. At 8 o'clock, we're starting to cloud. By 11 p.m., the northern part of the Mitten and the UP, you're not probably going to see much. You're going to have to be down south of Ludington and south of Alpena. By 5 a.m., only parts of Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the very, very lower part of Michigan is going to be squally enough you might see some holes in the clouds. Now let's jump ahead to Friday night. Friday night, Minnesota, lower Minnesota, part of Wisconsin isn't looking bad. Over Lake Michigan, I think we're going to be squally. This is October, and typically storms in October tend to be pocket storms. So we get small cells that develop with less clouds in between them. And I think that might be a possibility. As we through tomorrow night, Minnesota, Wisconsin, you're getting more and more. By 2 a.m., the lower part of Michigan should be able to start seeing some holes in the clouds. And that's going to carry through to 5 a.m. By 5 a.m., there'll be a line through Lansing, up toward the thumb, and down toward the very St. Joseph's that will be without clouds. Now, 19th, Saturday night, which I predict is going to be our big night. Wisconsin, you have good news. You probably will be able to semi-see through some of the clouds. Western Minnesota. Dakotas, you're going to be in good shape. Excuse me. This is going to reshape through the night. Should reshape through the night. Minnesota, you're going to get better. Wisconsin's going to get worse. Michigan's going to get worse. We're not going to have much hope here in Michigan on the 19th. Sunday night, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Western Michigan is going to be really, really good for seeing auroras by 8 p.m. And it probably will come across by 2 a.m. Michigan, if anything happens on the 20th, will be fully visible. And remember, I'm looking for this stuff to come in between the 18th and the 20th. Because that's when we should get the 2/4 halo hits with all the flaring and the CMEs behind it. And we should be seeing by the 19th into the 20th, we should be seeing that corona hole stream. So I would say the 20th is going to be your big night. And that is a night you want to be out there. We don't have any smoke, so that's not going to bother us. But let me look here. Relative humidity is going to be very high this weekend. All the way through, everything I've seen through the whole weekend is basically very high. And when you have high humidity, for you newbies, it's like putting, those roll down window screens that are white, and they can let the light kind of illuminate the white, but you can't see through it. That's what this humidity could do to us, depending on how bad it is. So this one is going to be a crap shoot. Real quick, looking forward. And this is for northern Michigan, because I have to look at a spot on the map. I can't automatically say what everything's going to do. Looking forward to the 28th through the 31st. Here, we're going to be mostly cloudy and rainy. And so all of you better, be on good graces and talking terms with the Creator and ask him to change the weather if you want to see anything at the end of the month. Time to make friends, people. Make friends and influence. All right, that's the forecast. Have fun. I hope you get some good things. Make sure you're sharing things in group. If you have not gone in and told me what you think, found the video about the chat groups, and you have not yet signed in and given me your opinion, please do that. I need to know what you guys want to see. It's going to start out relatively affordable, but by the time we reach 10,000 followers, it's going to be $6,000 a year to do this. It's going to be very expensive. But at that point, we're creating our own platform. We can do whatever we want with it. I can plug in whatever's out there. We could do photo contests. We can have chat groups. We can put whatever we want there, except I cannot put the government data there because the government does not allow me to list on the website data from the government. That has to be free. So we might create a split where you can go in and read the data for free, but then you have to sign in to be part of the chat and the photo contests and everything else. We will see. But this is where we're at. This weekend, the regular site, between now and the next week, I'm going to be redoing some things. Some things will be upgraded and things will function better. And I'm getting prepared to plug in more. So we will go from there. Thank you, everyone, for your time and patience, and enjoy.